So let me start with a very basic thing, which was actually our first day class. That project is what? Temporary endeavor. It's temporary, which means it has a start date and end date, and we have to achieve some objectives. And objectives are, call it scope, time, cost, and quality. These are some objectives on which we do the project, and every time we do the project, it provides a unique output. And which you guys were missing on the questions which I was sending on the WhatsApp group, something called as program. Program is what? A program management collection of related interdependent projects executed to achieve benefits, values towards a vision. So the program management is related to the interdependent projects executed to achieve the values or outcomes. And portfolio was, if you were unable to answer, portfolio was about collection of independent programs and projects have no relation between them. You are enhancing the organization with the help of those independent programs and projects. That's what we call it, portfolio management. And we do this to achieve the strategic objectives. We do this to achieve the strategic objectives. So if you do not remember this, your answer will always be wrong. Project, single, program, collection of interrelated, interdependent projects, and portfolio is independent programs and projects executed to achieve the benefits. And while we are working with project, program, and portfolio to assist the program, project, and portfolios, we have an authority called as, or we have an administrative governance framework called as PMO. PMO is Project Management Office, which have three rules: supportive, controlling, and directive. So based upon these three things, so PMO is responsible to provide the governance and facilitation to the project managers. And in PMO, there is something called as, we establish something called as PMIS, Project Management Information System. And this Project Management Information System has two things in common. We call this our OPA and EEF, which you guys were again confused in the questions on the WhatsApp at what they are. So we have OPAs and we have EEF. OPAs organization process assets, EFs are enterprise environmental factors. So we said OPAs are further categorized into categories, which is what? Policies, procedures, guidelines, templates, past project archives, uh, filled templates of past projects, and so on. Guidance about project management methodologies or approaches that will go predictive. All these things will be provided by the PMO to you as a project manager. These are the part of OPS. EEFs are, again, we said we have two things, internal and external. So in internal EEF, we have the organization, culture, vision, uh, code of conduct, resource availability. We have geographical distribution of organization. These are what our internal things, and software required for the project. So these are our internal EF. We call them internal EF, which you guys were actually unable to find out what is. And you should remember it, otherwise you will be in deep trouble in exam also because you cannot differentiate among them. Let me write like this because here this one is merged. And the external EEF is actually what? Our government standards, our regulatory standards, our economic conditions, economic conditions. We have stakeholder appetite. We have stakeholder appetite. So these are our uh, external EF, which are not in our control. You have to remember it, otherwise you will always make the mistakes while choosing the answer. Now, hint I gave you during the training, which you also don't remember. I gave you a hint if you guys have forgotten. And the hint was that if anything or any document you feel that it will guide you how to work, any document which will guide you that how you will work, that will be the part of our OPA. And anything you need to follow while working, that will be the part of EF. Anything which you have to follow, that will be the part of EF because we follow the law, right? We follow the law. So if you are unsure that I need to make it in the OPA or EF, always remember that EEF should be followed because we follow the law. And OPA is providing the guidelines. So anything you need is providing you guideline to execute the project will always be the part of OPA. And anything which you are depending from your organization, that will be the part of OPAs in terms of that, or otherwise it could be internal EF. So that is what our simple understanding. If you can remember that, your life will be easy. If you cannot remember that, then you will be in real trouble, literally real trouble, because you will never be able to understand what we are saying and you cannot remember those things. So there is a slide on this. You have the differentiation among them. If you remember this, you are good. If you don't remember this basic information, your answer will always be wrong and you'll keep making mistakes, and then you will keep making your life as hell because you don't understand these. To support the project program and portfolio, we have PMOs. PMOs contains OPAs and EF, and ultimately you can work accordingly. So yesterday the answer was portfolio, but you were selecting this and that, those other answers. So I hope this will be a concept to remember. I will export it also as a JPG so you guys can have the access on it. Now let's go back to the screen and solve some questions before we close out for the day. Please try to answer on the chat window. And after the class, I will unmute your mic so you can ask as many questions you like. So let's see the first question on the screen. That you are the project manager of a company, you have recently completed the project and need to distribute the project closure report. Who should get the copy of the project closure report? Answer on the chat window, please. Always read all the options. Don't be in rush while selecting the answers. And I have taught you, don't consider this answer in the first way, which is what? All, right? So yes, the correct answer is actually D. That follow the guidelines as defined in the communication management plan. Because communication plan, management plan is what? Who will get what information, how, when, which format, which technology, which frequency. So everything is defined in the communication management plan. We don't need to think more than that. Let's go to the next question. You are managing a project, your CPI is not as planned, your project is over budget. So therefore, you again estimate the cost of the project and find that you will require more money to complete the project. This will require an update of the cost baseline. What will you do? Yes, you cannot update it by yourself. You need to have the change request. I think in the last class I explained this. Without the change request, you cannot update anything. Let's go to the next question. One of the key stakeholder requested additional features without changing the scope. Before going to the question, what is this thing? If you do this, what will happen? Don't read the question. Tell me, not gold creep. We called it scope creep. Yes. So now you know the question. Scope creep. PM believes that they will be good thing. However, it will increase the cost and impact the schedule. Which process should the project manager have followed to avoid gold plating or scope creep? What do you think is the correct answer? Always read all the answers before answering. Don't be in rush. Yes, Phils are correct. Muhammad Ali, no. Rakesh, no. Faz, yes. To avoid the gold plating and scope creep, we have to follow the process called as, the name of the process is called as integrated change control. This is the name of the process. Every change request has to go through the integrated change control. So the answer is we have to follow the process of change management. And the process is called as integrated change control. So we can avoid gold plating or scope creep. This integrated change control isn't predictive or adaptive. This process isn't predictive approach or adaptive approach. Only one person has answered, which is correct actually. MashaAllah, Osman, today you are going very out of the way to answer the questions. It's a predictive way of answering the questions. You are the PM. You and stakeholders started conducting a project benefit analysis. Because of the solutions that have not been identified, an engineer from another department has informed you that there are affected systems. As a project manager, what should you do? Identify all stakeholders, review the business benefit analysis to consider additional impact, update the risk register, document the issue in the issue log. What you are going to do? There are affected systems. Yes, first correct. Rakesh, Someone is telling you something has happened and you will keep doing the business analysis, benefit analysis. Something has happened. Something has happened is what? What we call this thing? Something has happened. Something has happened means issue has occurred. Issue has occurred means issue the enlist the issue in the issue log. Okay, great. Let's go next. You have been assigned PM. You have discovered there is no project charter. When you talk to your sponsor, he told you that organization has many executed many projects. What will you do? That's a very good question. In the exam, they will check you like this. Let's see. And I will then manipulate the answers also after that, which is the correct answer. Pilza, yes. Faz, yes. Ali and Usman, you have forgotten the basics also, right? Creating the project charter is the task of a sponsor, not you. C could be the correct answer if I change this word with the sponsor. And once something has happened, we don't continue. We have to evaluate it. So yes, A is the correct answer because without charter, there is no way of doing the project. You don't have the authority and you are doing the project, it means you are destroying everything. So yes, A is actually the correct answer. Next, as a project is about to close, you arrange a meeting with one of the vendor who delivered low quality parts. You express your dissatisfaction and try to find a solution to the issue. However, the meeting does not result in a positive outcome. What is the best thing for you to do now? You tried, it didn't work. When you try and didn't work, what you do? And remember the key points that these will never be the correct answers, right? Exactly. If you cannot reach to the solution, then you have to go with ADR. And if ADR is not working, then what is the last thing? After ADR, where you will go? Yes. After ADR, you will go to D. Good. Next, the company is being bought out and the project that was just started has been terminated. What should the next step be by the project manager? Here we have a trick, okay? Because you are in the execution. So before closing the project, what do you have to close? We have to close three P's, right? So first P is what? Procurement. Second is phase. And third is project. Now, what is the correct answer? Yes, Filza, your answer is correct. What about others? Exactly. When we are going to close the project, first we need to see that if there are any procurements, we have to close the procurements. Then you can close the project. What I told you, if any claims are open, you can never close a phase or a project of the project. So first we have to close the procurement, then we can close the phase or the project itself. So yes, D is actually the correct answer. Let's go next. As a project management team has identified large number of sellers who seem capable to be taken as contractor. What should the next step for the team? What should be the next step for the team? Ali, they did not submit it. What you will do? Question doesn't say they have submitted. Rakesh, also same for you. Who seem capable to be taken as contractor? They have not submitted the proposals yet. So how can you evaluate their proposals when they have not submitted? You are selecting them. Selecting them means make a list of them so you can send them the submissions, the bid documents. So they can submit the bid documents. Then this is the correct thing, right? This is step one, this is step two, this is step three, this is step four. But first thing is you need to make the list. If this has done, then you will go for this. If this has done, you will go for this. If this has done, then you will go for this. This is the correct hierarchy of it. Great. You are the PM and having a dispute with your seller over certain changes. You met him to discuss, but you did not reach an agreement. Now you know the answer. Exactly, Faz. When you don't reach an agreement, then you go for ADR. Very good. Very, very good. Let's go next. To compare different suppliers and rate their proposals, what should you use? Simple questions today, but logical. Short, but logical. Yes, Siraj, correct. As yes. Usman, no. Filza Mustafa, yes. Question itself saying what should be the answer is. To compare different suppliers and rate their proposals. Rate their proposals. You have to establish the evaluation criteria. So yes, A is the correct answer. The rest are secondary things. If the outsourced deliverables don't meet the agreed upon criteria, what should the project manager reference to verify with the contractor? To reference. No, Siraj. To acceptance criteria is defined in scope of work, a procurement statement of work. So A is actually the correct answer. You guys were very quick. We have solved 10 questions so far. Let's do one more. We have enough time. After contract sign off, a PM learns that a vendor has a reputation of not delivering according to the contract. To ensure the compliance, what should you do as a project manager? How to check the compliance? To check the compliance. To check the compliance. Yes, Siraj. Elsa, yes, good, good, good. All are good so far. How you make the vendor compliance, not the product compliance. So vendor compliance, product compliance will be checked with this. This is done before contract. This is done before contract. And we don't do this directly. So yes, A is actually the correct answer. So I hope you learned something again today. If yes, thank you very much. I'll see you next week, inshallah. Saturday we'll change our timing because we will have the yeah, a lot of ways today I was also observing because we will have the Taraweeh things and so on. So I will check what time is in the Taraweehs. So we'll fix a time that we can sit after Taraweeh or something like this. Or maybe we'll change the day or we'll do earlier. We'll see. I'll make the poll and then we'll decide. So thank you very much. Best of luck. Ramadan is coming. Your schedule might be relaxed. Please try to do the things and pass the exam. And remember me in your prayers. I'll see you next week, inshallah. If you have any questions, you can raise your hands. If no questions, then I will finish the meeting, please. Thank you.